Democrats. Today is Tuesday, August 23rd, Election Day. Happy Tuesday. So it is Election Day. It is 4:18. If you are watching me and you haven't voted, you have 2 hours and 42 minutes to get out there and vote. And I have to tell you that I was pleasantly surprised when I showed up to my polling place today and there was a line. There were people in front of me and people behind me. That warmed my heart, made me feel pretty good. And there was some partisan trash talking that didn't make me sad. So if you haven't voted, you have 2 hours and 41 minutes now. Get out there and vote. Exercise your right to vote. If you're in Oklahoma, no matter what county, no matter what precinct, you have something to vote for. For some people, it's just our runoff candidates for the U.S. Senate, which are Madison Horn and Jason Bollinger. And for some people, like me, I live in Tulsa. I had U.S. Senate, I had City Council, I had charter amendments. I had a lot of stuff to vote for. So let's change what they think about this year. The Secretary of the State Election Board said that people usually do not show up for runoff elections. Let's surprise him. Let's everyone show up as much as you can. If you haven't already done your mail-in voting, which I encourage everybody to do, because you get your ballot in advance, you can do your research and you can mail it when you want to and do something else on Election Day. So there's the absentee ballot, there's the early in-person that they do the weekend before, and then there's the Tuesday voting. If you missed all those other chances, please get out there and vote today until 7 p.m. So that's the big thing. I didn't have enough information yesterday, but I have to call attention to, acknowledge the death of Sergeant Swartz in Oklahoma City, who was serving a lockout warrant for someone who was losing their apartment and lost his life. It's heartbreaking. People shouldn't have to worry about dying by just going to work. But we live in a state where we're just like, everybody has guns and don't you dare say anything about it. And this is what happens. 2 first responders got shot yesterday just doing a normal basic thing about their job. Now, I say that even knowing and hearing that eviction shouldn't be a normal basic thing about their jobs. So it was a confluence of a bunch of things that are wrong in our society. Too many folks have jobs. Too many landlords are taking advantage of the situation. I don't know their situation, but it makes me think about the housing crisis that we are facing here in Oklahoma, along with the fact that we need common sense gun laws. Everyone doesn't need a gun. Everyone doesn't need a gun, and everyone doesn't need a whole bunch of guns. And that's where we are. I don't know all the story. I'm hearing that his parents were evicting him. That also sounds like an issue that needs to be dealt with in a family matter. There's just a lot of things going on in that, but I do want to take an opportunity to acknowledge that a first responder lost his life yesterday. Just too many guns. So it's all the more reason why you have to vote. I'm going to bring it back to voting. All the more reason why you have to vote. You can't just vote for issues, but you have to vote for people who are going to actively support your issues or not actively work to destroy your issues. And right now,
Well, it looks like Alicia is frozen, so I'll talk for a moment and hope that she can get back on. As she was saying, it's not only important that we vote for people who share our values, our interests, our common interests, the things that we want to see in our community and in our state and in our nation. We also cannot afford to elect anyone who will work against them, against the things that we hold as so important. Last night, I had the pleasure of talking with Adam Martin on my program, and we talked about things that matter to everyday Oklahomans. Sadly, the people that we have been sending to Washington don't care. They vote against our interests. They vote against the interests of our older folks, of our children, and it's time that we just said no. And so, as Alicia pointed out a few moments ago, let's make it a surprise to the election board this year, because I have heard from people all day that they're voting, and a lot of people like me. I always get my absentee ballot, but typically I do vote in person. I like to get the ballot early so that I can study who's on the ballot or what issues are. In this case, it was very simple. But I will be going to vote here in just a little while, and I hope that you will do the same. I want to mention also, Jana Lewis Harkins said that she's making name tags for this Saturday's 2022 Women's Equality Day brunch and True Blue rally. So if you have not registered yet, it's not too late. More details on the Oklahoma Democratic Party website. Here's Alicia.
Yes, but I have no idea what he talked about. So I want to talk a little bit about education and how it is incredibly important that we all educate ourselves of what's going on in education. So first of all, you guys, I know you've seen my post because I put it in as many places as I could. Ryan Walters, one of the Republican candidates who is running for superintendent of public instruction, created a post to make it look like the Oklahoma Democratic Party endorsed a Republican, his opponent, in the race for superintendent of public instruction. First of all, that's not going to happen. We have a competent, confident candidate in 2020 Teacher of the Year, Gina Nelson, running for superintendent of public instruction, and that is who the party supports. Part one. Part two, it's pretty desperate to pretend like that it's anything other. He created himself. There are just so many things wrong with that ad. So annoying, and actually, it's against campaign law to tell outright lies, and that's exactly what he did. And I would never approve an endorsement that listed the Oklahoma Democratic Party as the OK Democratic Party. That's not who we are. We are the Oklahoma Democratic Party. So I'm not real sure. So there's that. I have to remind you that our governor is stoking fear with the you can opt in or opt out of teachers unions. Teachers know that. And I just have to mention it because it's been popping up all over my social media. And the fact that Ryan Walters called it mandatory enslavement, throwing around words like that, it's insensitive. It's inflammatory, and it's all the more reason why that guy needs to go home. He just needs to go home. He has no business being part of education. I'm not interfering in that race over there, but I'm just reminding you that we have a Gina Nelson for superintendent of public instruction. Please go look her up, learn about her. She's going to be on your ballot in November, but they keep reminding me why Ryan Walters can't be the person. I'll talk a little bit more tomorrow about, after the election, but the education system in Oklahoma is under attack. I want to mention the teacher in Norman. There's a lot of rumors going on that the teacher that shared a link to the Brooklyn Public Library, to their students, so their students could get access to the banned books, I guess. I'm not really sure. I wasn't in the classroom. There's rumors that teacher has been fired, has been let go. Norman Public Schools issued a statement saying that they were reviewing it. So I think we should just stay in fact. We should stay where we are and just talk about facts. It's dangerous where we are, where a teacher can't give their student access to the canon, but that's where we are. All the more reason why we have to pay attention and vote. So I think that Scott talked about the Women's Federation True Blue luncheon that is this Saturday on the 27th. A great place to be, where there are going to be tons and tons of candidates. So you get to hear them speak, see them, ask them the questions you want to ask them, but great fellowship with other Democrats. That's this Saturday, the 27th, in Oklahoma City. It's on the website. Go look that up. I hope to see you. I will be there. We have other events coming up. We have the Leading Ladies event hosted by the parties on September 13th. We have the Pancake Breakfast hosted by the Veterans Federation on, I believe, September 10th. September 11th, the Heart of the Party is having their Just Desserts event. So there's all kinds of events where you can go and be safe, and be with Democrats, be with candidates, and ask the questions that you need to ask. All righty, it is 4:29. You have 2 hours, 1 minute to get out and vote if you haven't already voted. Thanks for joining me. Sorry about the technical difficulties, and I'll see you tomorrow at 4:15. Have a great one.